students, first of all, I'm Unique Esteverio. Me and my co-researchers conducted a study which entitled Satisfaction of Grade 12 HUMSS Students of Etiaga National High School in Blended Learning. This title summarizes the main idea of the study. We decided as a group to choose this title among the three because we want to know the satisfaction of some students of Etiaga National High School in Blended Learning. The purpose of this study is to know if there are some students who are satisfied in blended learning during pandemic. This study, since the blended learning started in the school of Etiaga National High School in the month of October, we all know that blended learning is an approach to education that combines online educational materials and opportunities for interaction online with traditional place-based classroom methods. It requires the physical preference of both teacher and students with some elements of student control over time, place, and path. Coronavirus disease or COVID-19 is an infectious disease caused by a newly discovered coronavirus. DepEd decided to implement the method of study through blended learning because of the effect of virus to an individual. Some of students had a hard time to study during pandemic, but most of them coped all the struggles that they face and with a guide of parents, teachers, and especially guide, students tried to surpass it all.
Research question. What is the level of satisfaction according to respondent profile to blended learning?
So, here in the conceptual framework, first that we'll be going to do is to identify the thesis statement, wherein the thesis statement was the satisfaction of grade 12 HUMSS students of Etiaga National High School in blended learning. After we identify the thesis statement, you must also identify those variables, the dependent and the independent variables, wherein the dependent variables was the blended learning, while the independent variables was the satisfaction of grade 12 HUMSS students. You can easily identify those variables because the dependent variables always depends on the independent variables. After that, we create a map or a radar for the flow of research. We conduct a survey in HUMSS 12 about their satisfaction in blended learning.
Scope and delimitation. This study focuses on the satisfaction of grade 12 HUMSS students of Etiaga National High School in online class and blended learning. The study limited to the senior high school students of Etiaga National High School, specifically the grade 12 students who are enrolled for the school year 2020 to 2021. The researchers will only get a number of 25 respondents come from the section of ASTRAEA, and 25 respondents also come from the section of Aphrodite.
Benefits and beneficiaries student. In this study, the student will identify the importance of the mode of learning, of what makes better to them to study. Parents. The parents will understand why we are learning blended because of this situation we are suffering and facing a pandemic, and most of the time they save allowance. Teachers. It can help them to identify and assess themselves of what the students prefer of what mode of learning. By then, they will be able to change or modify their attitude toward it or make some appropriate and adjustment. The researchers themselves who will going to improve and elaborate this research more. The future researchers. The result of the study will serve as a guide for future reference and discovery for more study or similar topic.
Research design. The research design used in this research is descriptive case study. The researcher will use questionnaire to be floated to the respondents.
Here in sampling procedure, we are talking about the method of getting the sample from our population entirely, which means the group of respondents we gathering data. Sample contains a few members of population. We choose non-probability sampling, wherein the sampling method has not all population have the chance to participate in the study. In non-probability sampling, we choose quota sampling because we decided as a group to choose for our respondents.
Data gathering procedure. We as a researcher made an approval from our teacher to conduct a study through web or online survey. So we have allotted vigorous time, effort, and cooperation in developing our questionnaires. We explain the purpose of the study to the selected respondents and make sure each participant answered those questions properly. The study was conducted for a week. I am administering the questionnaires we all allotted for all the free time to avoid distraction from answering module or class discussion. After we collide all the data, with the help of tallied the survey satisfaction of the grade 12 HUMSS students.
Statistical tool. For the better appreciation on the analysis of data, the researchers use frequency and percentage to determine the profile of the respondent and their satisfaction on blended learning. Weighted means will be used to determine the economic impact of COVID-19, the satisfaction of HUMSS students of Pechague National High School in blended learning.
For the questionnaire number 1, the frequency of the respondents who answered strongly disagree for the first item is 3 with the percentage of 7.8. Those who answered disagree is 8 with the percentage of 15.7. Those who answered agree is 37 with a percentage of 72.5. And those who answered strongly agree is 2 with a percentage of 4. In this item, most of the respondents agree on the statement. I found it hard to meet deadlines by using blended learning, with a total of 37 out of 50 respondents and a percentage of 72.5% out of the overall total percentage of the response for this item. For the questionnaire number 2, the frequency of the respondents who answered strongly disagree for the second item is 13. Those who answered disagree is 17, while those who answered agree is 19, and those who answered strongly agree is 2. The percentage of the respondents who answered strongly disagree is 25.5%. The respondents who answered disagree is 32.3%, those who answered agree is 37.3%, and those who answered strongly agree is 3.9%. In this item, most of the respondents agree on the statement. I get more information on the area of my study through blended learning than through face-to-face interaction, with a total of 19 out of 50 respondents and a percentage of 37.2% out of the overall total percentage of the response for the particular item. For the questionnaire number 3, the frequency of the respondents who answered strongly disagree for the third item is 4. Those who answered disagree is 13, while those who answered agree is 31, and those who answered strongly agree is 3. The percentage of the respondents who answered strongly disagree is 7.8%. The respondents who answered disagree is 25.5%. Those who answered agree is 60.8%, and those who answered strongly agree is 5.9%. In this item, most of the respondents agree on the statement. I get more information on the area of my study through blended learning than through face-to-face interaction, with a total of 31 out of 50 respondents and a percentage of 60.8% out of the overall total percentage of the response for the particular item. For the questionnaire number 4, the frequency of the respondents who answered strongly disagree for the fourth item is 4. Those who answered disagree is 9, while those who answered agree is 36. And those who answered strongly agree is 2. The percentage of the respondents who answered strongly disagree is 7.9%. The respondents who answered disagree is 17.6%. Those who answered agree is 70.6%. And those who answered strongly agree is 3.9%. In this item, most of the respondents agree on this statement. I am satisfied with the way of approaching scores to the diverse activities assignment quizzes exams, with a total of 36 out of 50 respondents and a percentage of 70.6% out of the overall total percentage of the response for this particular item. For the questionnaire number 5, the frequency of the respondents who answered strongly disagree for the fifth item is 10. Those who answered disagree is 8, while those who answered agree is 30, and those who answered strongly agree is 3. The percentage of the respondents who answered strongly disagree is 19.6%. The respondents who answered disagree is 15.7%. Those who answered agree is 50.8%, and those who answered strongly agree is 13.9%. In this item, most of the respondents agree on the statement. Blended learning helps me to manage my time, with a total of 30 out of 50 respondents and a percentage of 50.8% out of the overall total percentage of the response for this particular item.
For the questionnaire number 6, the frequency of the respondent who answered strongly disagree for the sixth item is 2. Those who answered disagree is 11, while those who answered agree is 33, and those who answered strongly agree is 5. The percentage of the respondents who answered strongly disagree is 3.9%. The respondents who answered disagree is 21.6%. Those who answered is 9.8%. In this item, most of the respondents agree on the statement, I feel secluded from the lecturer who is always available to help, with a total of 33 out of 50 respondents and a percentage of 64.7% out of the overall total percentage of the response for this particular item. For the questionnaire number 7, the frequency of the respondent who answered strongly disagree for the 7th item is 5. Those who answered disagree is 9, while those who answered strongly agree is 8. The percentage of respondents who answered strongly disagree is 9.8%. The respondent who answered disagree is 17.6%. Those who answered agree is 56.9%, and those who answered strongly agree is 15.7%. In this item, most of the respondents agree on the statement, I feel I like blended learning because I can work according to my own pace, with a total of 29 out of 50 respondents, and a percentage of 56.9% out of the overall total percentage of the response for the particular item. For the questionnaire number 8, the frequency of the respondent who answered strongly disagree for the 8th item is 3. Those who answered disagree is 6, while those who answered agree is 28, and those who answered strongly agree is 14. The percentage of the respondents who answered strongly disagree is 5.8%. The respondents who answered disagree is 11.8%. Those who answered agree is 54.9%, and those who answered strongly agree is 27.5%. In this item, most of the respondents agree on the statement, I face technical problems when I use blended learning. The total of 28 out of 50 respondents and a percentage of 54.9% out of the overall total percentage of the response for this particular item. For the questionnaire number 9, the frequency of the respondent who answered strongly disagree for the 9th item is 4. Those who answered disagree is 5, while those who answered agree is 41, and those who answered strongly agree is 1. The percentage of the respondents who answered strongly disagree is 7.8%. The respondents who answered disagree is 9.8%. Those who answered agree is 80.4%, and those who answered strongly agree is 2%. In this item, most of the respondents agree on the statement, blended learning encourages learners to pursue true information using website, with a total of 41 out of 50 respondents and a percentage of 80.4% out of the overall total percentage of the response for this particular item. And for the last questionnaire, number 10, the frequency of the respondents who answered strongly disagree for the 10th item is 2. Those who answered disagree is 10, while those who answered agree is 27, and those who answered strongly agree is 12. The percentage of the respondents who answered strongly disagree is 23.6%. The respondents who answered disagree is 19.6%. Those who answered agree is 52.9%, and those who answered strongly agree is 3.9%. In this item, most of the respondents agree on the statement, I prefer to learn from the book than the website, with a total of 27 out of 50 respondents, and the percentage of 52.9% out of the overall total percentage for this response for this particular item.
The computed weighted mean and the visual interpretation according to Likert scale on the satisfaction of grade 12 HUMSS students of Echaga National High School in blended learning. The first item with the statement of I found it hard to meet deadlines by using blended learning has a computed mean of 2.62%, which are considered as moderate in Likert scale model. The second item with the statement of I get more information on the area of my study through blended learning that through face-to-face interaction has a computed weighted mean of 2.16%, which are considered as low in Likert scale model. The third item with a statement of I feel dulls when I study through blended learning has a computed weighted mean of 2.52, which are considered as low in Likert scale model. The fourth item with the statement of I am satisfied with the way of apportioning scores to the diverse activities, assignment, quizzes, exam has a computed weighted mean of 2.66%, which are considered as moderate in Likert scale model. The fifth item with the statement of blended learning helps me to manage my time as a computed weighted mean of 2.24%, which are considered as low in Likert scale model. The sixth item with a statement of I feel secluded from the lecturer who is not always available to help, as computed weighted mean of 2.68%, which are considered as moderate in Likert scale model. The seventh item with a statement of I like blended learning because I can work according to my own pace, has computed weighted mean of 2.86%, which are considered as moderate in Likert scale model. The eighth item with a statement of I face technical problems when I use blended learning has computed weighted mean of 3.4%, which are considered as moderate in Likert scale model. The ninth item with a statement of blended learning encourage learners to pursue through information using website has computed weighted mean of 2.8%, which are considered as moderate in Likert scale model. The 10th item with a statement of I prefer to learn from the book than the website has computed weighted mean of 2.86%, which are considered as moderate in Likert scale model. The accumulated total mean of the entire computed weighted mean is 2.64, wherein it under the moderate descriptive rating of the Likert scale model.
Conclusions. From the light of the findings, the following conclusions were drawn. Number 1. The integration of distance and face-to-face learning, or in other words, blended learning, is both advantage and disadvantage. Instructional for distance educator to offer more flexible delivery option with meaningful opportunities. But not all students have the capability to provide all the equipment needed. Number 2. The conclusion of the students often encountered problems during blended learning because blended learning requires students to join online classes and also do their printed modules prepared by the teachers. Number 3. Moreover, the study concludes that in 12 UMSS, students have been doing often coping mechanism such as finding way to solve the problem with blended learning. Try to find a comfortable place to study during online class and managing their time to do their modules and some requirements. Likewise, they have been doing often the adjustment skill like making a schedule in order to make their day productive and satisfying. Try to list down requirements and prioritize them based on the deadline and list down notes with watching lectures. These are the ways of the students to meet their satisfaction and in order to adapt with the new normal. Number 4. The satisfaction in blended learning is entirely dependent on the learner's preferences. The willingness of the students to adjust the new normal education will be determined by the learner's references and context, learning time availability, and level of information.
The light of findings and conclusions, researchers proposes the following recommendations for implementations. Number 1. The teacher should add some different aspects of learning such as giving reward points to students who are attending in every online discussion to uplift the moods of grade 12 students. Number 2. Mental and physical support mechanism should be an integral part of the service delivery through continuously availability of teachers and parents. Number 3. Counseling and support guidelines should be developed to empower the students in TAP. Number 4. Students should continuously inform for them to be aware of academic field. Number 5. Teachers and parents should continuously encourage the students for academic success.